It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell. Seniors, I can tell. Seniors, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying and the band playing one of your own favorite tunes from way back when.
Hello and welcome to Senior Living, the program of healthy aging for those 50 plus and for all ages. We're here today to talk about comedy, humor, comedy, and laughter. Our program today is Seniors and Comedy. I am Lynn Brennan, your host, and my special guest is Barchichat. She is a performer and producer of Senior Comedy Afternoons. Welcome, Bonnie.
Hi there. Good to be here.
Thank you. And did you know that laughter adds years to your life? You do not stop laughing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop laughing. And, of course, laughter is the best medicine. So to get started, Bonnie, tell us about your background. Were you always a performer? I know you're a fabulous singer.
Thank you very much. That came later on. Well, essentially, for the last 27 years, I've been a publisher. It's true. I have a company, or I had a company. I since recently dissolved it. Since I'm having so much fun being a producer of Senior Comedy Afternoons, I had a Pocket Reference Journals publishing company where I produced probably over 18 publications. They were all record organizing journals. And my titles were the Pet Passport, the All About Me Children's Health Journal, the My Life Journal, the Ira Journal, the Children's Health Journal, which was my most successful. I sold to, the list goes on, it's 18 titles, and I did custom journals as well. And I sold to pharmaceutical companies, hospitals throughout the United States. I was wholesale, I was retail. I was all over the place. I was going to conventions, and I was well known in my industry. Then after that, I also had a publishing company where I produced pet greeting cards. I was the first of that ilk. My cards even got on the Johnny Carson show. He made fun of them. That might be the only way I get on the Carson show is through those cards.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, and then my first product was, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Well, so what is your take on humor? I know you live to laugh, that's your motto.
Yeah. Well, essentially, my take on humor, how can I, what is my take on humor? Humor essentially is all about, it's all about thinking. What humorists make us think. And the best comedians are going to make you think first, laugh secondly. You know, and
interesting.
Essentially, I love comedy because they synthesize, they crystallize life in a nutshell. And we all look to find out what is the essence of life, and we look to our comedians to tell us in a second what it's all about. That's why they get paid the most amount of money for the least amount of time on stage.
Okay.
Because we're all looking for answers, and comedians give us answers in a second, you know, and make us laugh and think at the same time.
I love that. And let's form those laugh lines rather than the frown lines as we age.
Exactly, that's what I'm getting.
So how did it come in then to senior comedy?
Well, another good question. You know, everybody's got their category of humor. You've got gay comedy, you've got Latin comedy, you've got AA comedy. Everybody's got their niche. And it occurred to me when my husband and I took my mother out to a comedy club that she wasn't laughing very much. And I'm saying, why isn't she laughing? The reason was because she couldn't relate to the comedians. She couldn't relate to what they were saying because he was 30 and here she was 89. So she had nothing in common with this guy, and he was crude, and she didn't like that. So I'm saying to myself, the reason why she's not laughing is because she had nothing to laugh about because she didn't understand where he was coming from. So I said, well, okay, ding, senior comedy. Let the aging process have its moment in the sun and continue onwards.
Wow, that's great. I love it. I love the idea. Now, let's talk about comedians from the past. What are some of your favorites?
Oh, God, there are so many. I mean, Lucille Ball, she was the queen of comedy, and then you have Carol Burnett, and going further back, well, you had Gracie Allen, and you had Stiller and Mara, Ann Mara, and, of course, her son went on to comedic fame, Ben Stiller, and Lily Tomlin, I mean, she's phenomenal, and I love Bette Midler, she's a singer and comedian, So these are so many, Toadie Fields, I mean...
Golly, I didn't think that there were so many women.
Oh, yeah,
women.
Yeah.
How about men?
Phyllis Diller.
Men?
Oh, men, well, you have...
Other than your husband.
Oh, yes. The men of the past, of course, you have George Burns, I grew up with the Ed Sullivan Show, so, I saw London Lee and Jack Carter and Myron Cohen. And, these are some of the comics that I laugh with, and Billy Crystal, and Richard Pryor, George Carlin.
That's right. Wow.
They broke so many boundaries. George Carlin talked all about censorship. Richard Pryor talked all about the black experience. Every comedian lends his take and his perception of his worldview and how it constantly changes, and the disparities upon where we're going in our world,
That's right.
So,
true.
Those are just a few of my faves.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a lot. Let's do some one-liners from famous comedians.
Ooh, comedy. I like that.
So I'll start
All
with
right.
a few.
Go ahead.
And actually, I got this one from you. You know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake. That's Bob Hope.
Oh, I like that one.
And Mark Twain said, what would men be without women? Scarce, mighty scarce.
True.
And even back all the way to Socrates, he said, by all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher, like him.
Yeah, that was good.
So you have a few there.
I've got a few. Let's see. W.C. Fields said, a woman drove me to drink, and I hadn't even had the courtesy to thank her. Next, this one's from Rodney Dangerfield. He says, I get no respect. Last week I told my psychiatrist I keep thinking about suicide. He told me from now on I have to pay in advance.
Yeah.
And this one's from George Burns, who, by the way, sent my parents a letter, because when my parents' 50th wedding anniversary came around, I got very clever, and I delivered a dozen bagels to a dozen comics living in the Beverly Hills area, George Burns being one of them when he was still alive.
Wow.
And I asked them to come to the party. I figured, what do I have to lose, right? So George Burns actually wrote a very funny letter to my parents saying, sorry, I can't make it, be careful on the night, you don't want any more kids at this age, kind of thing.
Oh, cute.
Letters hanging in my office,
I love it.
But George Burns says, it takes only one drink to get me drunk. The trouble is, I can't remember if it's the 13th or the 14th.
And then the famous Will Rogers, one of the best-loved American humorists for 35 years. He said of the U.S. Senate, they open with a prayer and close with an investigation.
Good,
That's a good one.
Good.
So, now there are many senior comedy websites on the internet, more and more. So I found some senior one-liners. So let's have some of those. Now that I'm older, here's what I've discovered. I started out with nothing. I still have most of it. And my wild oats have turned to prunes and Allbrand.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I finally got my head together, and now my body is falling apart. A lot of people in that one.
Yep.
So you have some more?
Let's see, I have, if all is not lost, then where is it? Okay, then he says, if God wanted me to touch my toes, he would have put them on my knees.
Right.
And last but not least is experience is something you don't get until just after you need it.
Good one, good one. Well, and did you know that seniors are the nation's leading carriers of aids? Hearing aids, band-aids, roll aids, walking aids.
That's good.
Medical aids.
I like that.
Government aids, and most of all, aids to their children and grandchildren, financial aid.
Yep, yep.
Enough of this. Let's go and see some of the real comedians, the pros, at your recent Senior Comedy Afternoons event, the Great Gatsby Review at the Palos Verdes Golf Club.
I'm very excited, though. This is be celebrating my 33rd wedding anniversary this year. Thank you. Thank you. It'd be better if I was still married. She's a nice lady. She left me 3 weeks before I knew her. We were married 18 years. I married late. I did about 10:30. My daughter, tomorrow is my grandson will be 3 months old, my first grandchild, and my daughter's first baby, so we're very excited. Today, it made me think about when my ex-wife was carrying, because people come up and they go, oh, you're carrying high, it's going to be a boy, low, it's a girl, on the side, it's a turtle. I don't know. When they look and they think, and now they have videos. Videos. Remember when you could get a picture? Remember with cameras? Remember cameras? So they had now a video, and you can see the baby moving around. It comes, and now a video comes with a popcorn and an intermission, and the evolution today of children and people. I looked, and the baby, with all the cell phone, I swear the baby was in my daughter's tummy going like this. They come out, already know what to do. With computers, right? You ask a 2-year-old, they'll fix your computer. I don't know how the hell to turn it on, and they're fixing it. The same thing, right? You got to call. They're in diapers. They're still wetting themselves. They can fix the computer. They're brilliant, these children. And when you have kids, I remember my daughter was my first child, and when you have a girl, everything changes in a second. Because the doctor was holding my daughter, little baby. I said, if you touch her again, I'll break your arm. And my son just flipped right out, was crying. I said, stop acting like a baby. It's a boy. It's a whole different thing. Even when they were playing sports, my daughter would fall, maybe a piece of grass would get on her. I would call the ambulance. My son comes over, his arms hanging off with veins and blood. I said, get back in there and walk it off. I'll hold your arm. And they go to school, and now my son was he was an energetic child. But right away they go, oh, ADD. Every kid has ADD. Right? And so I went to school to see what was going on. And kindergarten teachers speak very softly. They're very nice. And my son was in the back. He couldn't hear. He kept going, what? And they put him on Ritalin. So I went to see the teacher. And she said, come in and sit down. I said, what? And he gave me Dexedrine. So I don't know. I've been out here 35 years, California. I still can't get over certain things. One drop of rain will fall. One drop. Every TV station breaks into their programming. Storm watch. Team coverage. They have people all over in the Inland Empire, and it's cold out. No, it's not. It's 35 degrees. It's or whatever. It's 65. Oh, yeah. Oh, I work alone. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, my favorite is Dallas Raines on Channel 7. Nice man. I have one question. What color is he? He's not a white guy or a black guy or an Asian. He's an orange. The man's an orange. Check him out. Because he's somewhere in the background. And then some of the, he's very explaining that he's orange.
Yeah.
His parents were at, he's tan. That's why I was doing the job. Thank you. If there's anything you want to explain, just, no, that's, ever see Jackie Johnson, that pretty lady on Channel 2? Yes, the weather girl. I don't know what she's talking about, and I don't care. I just know tomorrow's going to be curvy. Some of the people on TV. Oh, TV now. Last night, Saturday night, we all have cable TV, right? 500 channels, nothing's on Saturday night. Is it with if I see The Godfather again, or like Harry Potter meets The Godfather meets, I don't know what they're talking about anymore. I can't stand it. There's one channel that tells you what's on the other channels. In case you don't want to go out, or you do want to go out, you can turn on TV Guide channel that tells you what you don't want to watch on the other channels, so you can sit home and talk with your spouse about what you're not watching. How about this one? There's a fishing network for 24 hours of fishing. There's a guy, I turned it on, a guy standing in a rowboat with a rod and a string for an hour and a half. I said, this is an idiot. Then I realized I'm the schmuck watching it. What do they do? And the women on TV with the, yes, we're getting older, but I think, age gracefully. Look at with all the Botox and the lips. Remember those wax lips you bought for Halloween? They were about 25 cents. Now they cost $50,000. We get older, I'm getting old. Once upon a time, I actually had hair up here. I did. What I do is I put old pictures on the mirror and I go, oh, look at it. Oh, the other day I'm walking to the shower, I look in the mirror, I said, there's an old guy following me. What happened? I have room up here, but do I have hair growing up here? No, I have hair growing out of my ears. Why do we have, you have great hair, can I have something? Why do we have hair growing out of our ears? Sometimes my kids think I'm going deaf, I don't, I just have socks in my ears and I can't hear.
Did you see Michael whisper into my ear as he left the stage?
No. What did he say?
He gave me that special good luck wish that one comic wishes to another. Break a hip. I told my daughter today, I said, I'm speaking before a bunch of old people like me today. And I said, I'm sort of nervous. It makes me nervous. And she said, just use that old trick, picture him naked. Now I'm nervous and sick to my stomach. I know right off you have two questions about me. How old am I and what do I do? Well, I'm 76 years old and on a good day, I get dressed. Sometimes completely. On a really good day, the paramedics don't show up. And I am a widow now. My husband died a few years ago after 49 years of marriage. It was the only way he could escape. Coward. I won. But I don't mind being 76 years old. I mean, I get all those senior discounts, and the older you get, the more discounts you get. That's either a groaner or a laugher. But I find it's so interesting to me nowadays. It doesn't matter to us at our age, but the breastfeeding controversy is still alive. Have you noticed? I mean, people are still upset about that Time magazine cover where that woman was breastfeeding her 4-year-old son. Yeah, I don't know what all the fuss is about. I figure you ought to breastfeed your kids till they start middle school. I really, really don't like to cook. I outside of my kitchen says the only reason I have a kitchen is because it came with a house. And as to my oven, I've taken a photograph of a roasting turkey and taped it on the glass. Makes a great place to hide your wine. And I find now doctors are finding more and more ways for older and older women to have babies now. Is that not disgusting? Are they out of their minds? That's all we need at our age, is to be shopping for Huggies and Depends at the same time.
Okay, time to wake the place up. First of all, Richard, the sponsor with caregiver, I'm looking for some caregivers. Male, preferably. Michael, you're single. I'm available. All the men. I want all the men to applaud. Let me hear the men. Are you men? Let me hear you applaud. Come on, do better than that. You're going to be with me. You've got to do better than that. All right, now all the single men applaud. Let me repeat that. All the single men applaud. All right.
Standing ovation.
All right. I want a man who can stand. We're off to a good start. With me, you're going to have to read between the lines, and you're doing well, crowd. Okay, because I am Henrietta. I drove all the way from Burbank, not for lunch. I'm here to hook up. So I got one guy, and I think there's a few single men who aren't admitting they're single. Men, check it out. Check out this merchandise. Maybe you know somebody. I don't care. I drove 45 minutes on that stupid 405. I didn't come here just for comedy or lunch. I am serious. I'm not leaving without at least 3 men in my truck. That's right. Ladies, any single ladies, applaud if we have single ladies who want to hook up. Also, you don't want to hook up? All right, single ladies. Let me hear the single ladies, because I'm single. But I am serious about meeting a man. And I don't care if you're married. Maybe you know somebody. I'm ready to hook up, and I'll do whatever it takes. And when you believe in the product, you know what you do. Anybody in sales here, you advertise, you market. You market. And I will prove that tonight, oh, it's the afternoon. I'm so mixed up. It's the afternoon. That's because I had a wild night last night. This afternoon, I am marketing for dates. Applaud if you saw my phone number in the bathroom. One man over here. All right. Is that your woman next to you? Are you married? Yes, we'll have a threesome. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like I said, I drove a long way for this afternoon, but I market, I advertise. One man saw my advertisement. I don't limit myself. That's my secret, ladies and gentlemen. I don't just do one thing. I market all over the place. I do all kinds of stuff. Anybody here on JDate, eHarmonyMatch.com? Yeah, JDate. JDate, how's that working for you guys? I don't do that. I have an ad running in the obituaries. It says, sure you miss her. But she would have wanted you to have a good time. Call Henrietta. That's right, I work it. Now you're on JDate, you said, right? You're Jewish. Right. You're Jewish. Okay, I'm Jewish. I put an ad on Christian Mingle. You gotta mix it up, lady. Yeah. It says, foxy Jewish lady feels bad that my people killed your savior. Wants to say I'm sorry with some hot makeup sex. Yeah, you can use that if you want. You can use that. You'll see, it'll work. I do all kinds of stuff. Miss, you're in JDate. Do you go to bars to meet men? Clubs? No? No discos? No? Me either. I don't do that kind of stuff. I will rub a little Jack Daniels behind my ears and go to AA meetings to attract men. challenging. There's a lot of those young girls you got to compete with. Well, I don't need to do that. It's hard. No, believe me, it is hard, dude. It is hard in LA. You know, I just joined a dating service in LA. You know what it's called? Who's Left? Crazy guys, that's who's left. Crazy guys. This one guy I dated last week, he wanted me to dress up like his mother. So I did. Then I told him, get a job, and I threw him out of the house. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. Oh, okay. I get ideas all the time. You guys know what telemarketers do, right? They call you at dinner time, they disturb you. I got an idea from telemarketers, and it's, listen to this. I call houses, right? Just at random. Guy answers the phone, I go, hi, is the lady of the house home? He says, no. I go, good, I'll be right over.
Wow, thank you for those clips. They are really funny people and amazing.
Thank you.
I love that.
They are great.
What a day that was. What I love about humor, and you mentioned it earlier a little bit, there is truth in humor.
Mm-hmm.
And a message can be delivered with humor, and a moral, a story, you know, a moral to the story can be told, as with Mark Twain did and Will Rogers. My favorite of all times is Johnny Carson. And he just had a way that no one could top him, you know, they just, I call it situational comedy. And that's what I grew up with my dad. And like you said, and your mom was funny, and it
still is.
That's right.
93 and still is.
That's right. That's great. And it's a wonderful way to live. And I love delivering messages with humor.
It's the only way people really understand things, I think. And anytime you really need to deliver something really tough for somebody to understand, give it with a little humor so that they can get it in a nice kind of way. You know?
Amen. And that's another secret to marriage, isn't it? Humor.
Totally.
Okay. Yep. Well, thank you, Bonnie. This has been such a fun program. You may call us at 1-888-537-8705 or email solutionsforseniorliving@yahoo.com. Thank you again, Bonnie. And thank you all for watching Senior Living. Please join us again for another important topic of interest. So until we meet again, this is Lynn Brennan saying goodbye for now. Very happy, healthy aging, and God bless.
And go out and see some comedy.
Keep laughing.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be happy? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see.